Cool. Well, yeah, this is like our
How's it
fifth or
going?
sixth week doing
You got
these
it.
little UI UX live streams. I'm really enjoying it. Looking forward to people joining. So
Nice.
my
Yeah,
idea
thanks
would
for
be
doing
that
that.
we sort of go over some of the new features that we're launching um, in yeah some of the new features we're launching in FlutterFlow this week.
Nice.
We have a few that are coming that are really cool. And then we'll just sort of dive into sort of best practices for some other designs. And also, I want to, there's this big button craze going on right now. If you're on Twitter and in design Twitter, um, you will see all these people posting really cool buttons. And I shared a
Mhm.
tweet with Will earlier this week, and I asked him if I threw down the gauntlet for a challenge. So we're going to try to live build a really cool custom button in FlutterFlow, 1v1. No competition. I mean, we're just doing it for fun, So
You got it.
um, yeah, but that'll be fun. And also wanted to go over some page state stuff and how you can implement some really cool page state features. Will did this earlier this week when building out components for an enterprise client as like an example of what you could do. And I think he did a very fantastic job. So I've asked him to sort of go through that and give us an overview.
You got
So
it.
yeah, I guess what we'll do is I'll share my screen and we'll give a brief overview of what storyboarding is. Um, and it's coming later this week. Let's see, responsive dashboard. Yep, perfect. Cool. I think y'all can see
Pull
my
up everything
screen,
here.
and I'll do that. Cool. All right, awesome. So, um, yeah, we have some new features coming to FlutterFlow later this week. Um, should be today, but here, let's zoom out. So doesn't seem like I have anything connected here. I'll go to a project that does have stuff connected, and I'll showcase that. This one's a really nice one. So Storyboard, we will go to iPhone 14. Cool. So what is Storyboard and what does it do for developers? Storyboard is essentially an opportunity to view the connections within your app. Um, and what we do is we show all the screens in your app and the connections, like all the actions and stuff. You can click a screen and it'll highlight the actions for that screen and where they're going. This is in beta, so please leave feedback and you know, yeah, leave
Yep.
feedback for us, right? Like, let us know what you guys want to see, what you want to do. This is how we build features. We build them out really quick. I mean, this one is a very robust feature, right? All of this stuff is not easy. You would have a team of developers building this in a typical company, um, and we had one developer, and she did an amazing job. Um, so, yeah, you can see sort of all of your screens, and then they're in. You even see components. So when you link, right? So like on this screen, um, when we when we hit this generate quote, we get a component which is down here, and that is a dotted line, right? Same thing here when we create a note. Another component down here, which is another dotted line. Um, this is actually really nice for larger or like for large applications where you're working within a team where you maybe didn't create everything, right? So you can actually see
Mhm.
all the screens that have been created in more of a logical flow rather than just like the all pages view where it's just like, okay, cool, you worked on the profile page. You can actually see like, okay, cool. Have you connected the profile page? Does this button work, right? Um, you can also click into a screen by right clicking. So I have a trackpad, so I just click with two fingers and
Nice.
I get right in there. We've also created this to where it remembers sort of the page, right? Like the changes you've made. Um, which is an awesome feature. So that way it saves you time than resetting every time. So I'm excited for this feature. I think it's going to be really big for designers, project managers. Anytime you want to see sort of the logical flow of your application. And again, it's in beta. Give us feedback. It's going to be really cool. Another feature that we have is we've updated this page view. As you see, I have this old page view. And if I come to settings and go to app details, I have folder organization. These features are new. They are launching later this week. They're not currently available to the public, but I'm showcasing them so that when they do become available, you guys can utilize them first, right? So this is sort of the fun parts of it. So yeah, we have a new page folder structure. So a little cleaner, right? Less structured, less, lines and dark. You can create folders. You can drag them in. This works a little more closely to like VS Code, where you can create. Let's create folder. Old pages. Right. We have old pages down here, so we can drag in. Let's see. I have maybe this guy. My team. Just drag that in. We show components as well. So you have a component view and a page view. So you have everything in here. This was asked on community and Twitter so many times. As you can see, my component is closed. My component folder is closed. My old pages folder is closed. And right now, we're actually remembering the state of those. So yeah, it's a small thing, but it's a huge thing. So I'm really excited about that. You can also nest folders pretty well. So you can actually, put this folder, old pages, into here. And
you can have an onboarding folder now. That'll be awesome. Yeah. You can put all your sign in and your onboarding flow folders within folders. It would be perfect for organization.
Dude, this is like when you're managing a large project, it's like huge. It's like, oh my gosh, this is a small thing, platform thing that's actually like makes your life so much easier.
For sure.
So I'm a big fan of that.
Nice.
The last one I want to feature or highlight would be the page link. So another sort of project management improvement is this page linking. So I'm on this, like, let's go to something else, like project details, right? I can click that and I can share it with Will, and we will automatically link to this page. So if I open a new tab and let's see, share this tab instead. Yeah. So I opened a new tab and I got to this page. So it's a unique link for whatever page or view you're on, right? So I could do the same with code view. I could copy this link and I'll come back to, let's see, where was I? Yeah. So I'll come back here and I'll just copy that other link in. And I was on the code view tab. So then I get the code view tab here. So again, project management, this is huge, right? If you've completed a page, you don't have to just link the project. You could link the actual page and then tie it to a Jira ticket, Notion page, an Asana page, whatever your project management tool is. I think this is really huge. So again, small feature, big upside. So
nice.
That is that. And next, so those are some of the new features, the features that are coming. Let me see. Oh, dude, I didn't even have the chat up.
The beginning of the live stream, just so you know. So some of the things we touched on so far. Yeah, storyboarding is going to come later this week. Super exciting. Basically, the perfect way to manage your project, being able to drag components and pages around and see how those connect, and also shows like the hidden components, things there. It also remembers how you structure that storyboarding page. So that's a big one, right? It's not going to reset every time you navigate away. You can structure it just as if you were in a wireframing tool like Whimsical or in Figma or Sketch or whatever it may be, right? And you can see how beautiful that looks, right? With the different lines, connections, and organization there.
Yep. So again, maybe for a developer, if you're a solo person, this won't be as powerful as you want it to be. But as a team, I've when I work in teams and developing apps, this is a lifesaver. So this is a new feature, and it will be coming later this week. So it is a huge update, as Luis says. It's really cool, and give us feedback. It's in beta, so this is how we develop, right? We mentioned this earlier. Just we develop quickly, and we try to iterate on that. So let us know what you guys want to see in that, and let's do that. The next thing I wanted to do was Will built out. So one of our updates, well, it was actually last week, was page state and component state and app state. So like improvements to that whole state flow. We sort of showed off how you can utilize that in a design system last week. And
Yep.
Will created some really cool components that you could utilize
Nice.
in your app projects. And I wanted him to showcase that. So I'm going to stop sharing this and I'm going to let him share his screen.
Nice. You got
Yeah.
it.
And then I'll come back and I'll show you how I utilize page state as well in some of my projects.
Awesome. Is the screen visible? Good to go?
Yep. Good to go.
Awesome. Yeah, so I'm in the project right now. I'm waiting for the test mode to load. Do the improvements in test mode loading times. Hopefully that'll be within a couple seconds here. But yeah, some of the things you can now do, right, is storing component states and page states alongside the app state as a whole. So no longer does your entire app have to be updated when you want to update maybe a button or a small icon on the page. And utilizing those, we can do a lot of powerful things, right? So we can have a lot of custom components now. We can keep control of different toggles, or in this case, I built out an accordion using that method. And so I'll showcase that now. But these are some of the cool things, right, you can do with components. We get a lot of questions, I feel like, on Twitter or in the community of, can you implement this UI component or tool? But a lot of these you can build, right, if you're creative and utilize components. So one of those, for example, is the tooltip, right? We've got requests for building out a tooltip or a better looking pop-up from the bottom. So I did exactly that via a component, right? So I just built a very basic component with a container, an icon. Obviously, I could make this icon change as well if I wanted to. In this case, I'm keeping it the same, but you can see I've hooked up specific parameters in here. This isn't using local state variables yet, but just an example of creating complex components. And you can see, right, I'm just feeding text and colors using if-else statements with the component parameters. So what that allows me to do is go to my project, right? And then the other thing I can do is animate this in. So I can add a cool animation to it and hide it before animating if I wanted to. In this case, I don't believe I do, right? Just because I wanted the component to be visible, but you could hide it before animating, right? And then animate it in to your page, right? So here's an example. I'll have to look into these. I'm in beta, so there might be some things that are a little bit off. But if I animate, right, you can see that slide up here and slide back down. So maybe I'll switch over to the general app in a second. Right, but I can switch between these and change the colors. And this is a live change, right? So I'm just pulling the colors from that drop down. So that's an example of creating a more complex component. Now, when it comes to actually using these component parameters, a segmented control is a perfect example, right? So previously, you would have to store your variable within this component in the entire app state. So whenever just this component was updated, you'd be updating your state throughout the entire application rather than just this core component. But now the powerful thing that we've implemented is the local component state variables. Now you can see I can track the option within this component. And then if I wanted to, I could actually add an action somewhere in here. Maybe, I'll just use the text for an example. Imagine it's a button, but I can actually update something. Let's see if if I have anything I could update. Just as an example here, let's see. But you can see if I go to the page state, we can actually pull the value from the component state variable. So in this case, this segmented control component that I've created, I can pull the option value that I've created within that component, which is so powerful now, right? So with this, I just have segmented control. Essentially, when I click on this section, it sets the option to 1, 2, or 3, and then I can actually use that 1, 2, or 3 in my app, but it's only storing that variable within the component, right? Same thing below. And that can also be extended to other things like an accordion, right? So in accordion, right now we just have the drop down, but in accordion's a little unique because you want to make sure only one set of information is expanded, right? So in this case, I just have 2, but if I had 3, it would be doing the same thing. When I click on one, it opens. When I click on the other, it closes all the other tabs and only opens that one accordion. So this similarly can be done with custom components and component states. So in this case specifically, I all my variables to this component via component parameters. So you can see I have a title, a description, and I've just added those here. And then I have conditional actions based on this. So when I click on this container, for example, or this row, because I wanted it to be when I click on the title itself, it changes. You can get that here. What I'm doing is just updating the widget state to either reset the value or set it to a specific value. And then I'm conditionally changing the container color, showing the text depending on the local component state. And so one of the cool things I could do here, right, is instead of adding these manually, I could generate these from a list, for example, right? So I could create a data type called accordion dropdown, have a title and description, generate a list in my backend, right? So I could do data, just as an example here, really quick. I could do accordion info. Oh.
Yeah.
Right, and I could do a list of data types and do accordion dropdown, and then I could generate this accordion essentially from that list, right? So I could query the collection, or no, I would need to query the collection and then generate it from that list, right? But then I could set my component parameter, for example, or my local component state, excuse me, from the index, for example. So when I click on the first item in the list, it sets the local component state variable to 1 or 0 because that's the index, right? And then I could use that in my project to see which item in the list has been selected, right? A great example of dynamic control when passing variables. And the last thing I'll mention before, Andrew, I kind of open this up to discussion too, is actually utilizing this component state within a list, right? So again, one of the things that is so powerful. So if I were to do that here, for example, I could query my collection, my data collection for a single document for now. And then what I could do is, if I wrap this in a column or a list, I'll just generate a quick list here to show you. Right, so now I have my list, but the amazing thing is you see this new unique key optional section, right? So I can add a unique key to every single component that is generated in this list and now utilize whatever is in each individual component. So if I had 5 segmented controls generated here, I could get the value of every single segmented control that is generated just by setting maybe the unique key to the index in list, right? So I select the value of the first component in the list, the 5th component in the list, etc. So extremely powerful tool here for dynamic app generation, I think is a key portion of it, but also just like general optimization in your app. You don't have to update your entire app. You're just updating either a component, or this also even goes to states. So you can see that here.
Yep. That's awesome. And super powerful. We had somebody ask us on Twitter, could you guys talk more about lists and index? And so, I mean, I think you pretty much touched on it right there. So pretty awesome, dude. And very powerful. And also, like, when you're building out more than just mobile applications, web applications as well, like those things become necessary, right? Like you have to do those things, like custom messages beyond the bottom sheet or the alert, right? So that's really awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and share my other screen. Let's go responsive dashboard. I'm gonna show you how I do page states, and also like where can you use this sort of stuff, right? So you guys can see, we had a template before that had sort of this custom tab where it was like big sign up and small sign in and sign up, but you had to have 2 pages for this, so you could, because it's a custom thing. So what we can do now is we can set a page state, right? I'll say like sign up true, and we'll just make this a Boolean, right? And then what I'll do is I'll actually update that. Update page state, and I'll choose this. I tried this yesterday, so setting the value is important. So yeah, just do this. I launched it and I was like, oh, it's busted. I added this and it worked, right? So I'll show you how I'm doing this stuff here, and then I actually have a live project that I'll share, and you can see the final result. So this project looks better, so I want to build it in here. So I'll try to increase the size. So here we have in our widget tree, sign in and sign up. And these are just, two columns that I have with the proper information. And what I want to do is I want to make these conditionally visible. So page state, sign up true. And then this little guy, conditionally visible, page state, sign up true. And I'm going to access it again and just apply the opposite statement. And then I have these guys up here. This container is, instead of a navigate, we can do update page state. And we will sign up true equals set value. We'll set this one to true. Copy this. Come over here and paste it. And then just set this to false. Okay. And then we also need to stylize these correctly. So we want this one to be white when it's active and gray when it's not. One thing we don't have is font weight by variable, which I'm a big fan of, right? Like, it'd be really cool if I could have this medium weight instead, or a regular weight instead of this bold, but we don't get it. So, okay, we're going to do page state. Oh yeah, we need to do a condition first. So I'll just do a single condition. And what I'm going to do is, and again, you could probably do this without the condition, just to sign up true. I like to be extra sure and make it very specific. Okay, true. We're going to set this to primary text white. And if false, secondary text. And then we're going to, I'll confirm it. Then we will copy it. And we'll do the same over here. Set, paste. And we'll just do false. Cool. So what we've done is we've made both of these columns here conditionally visible based off of a page state, right? And again, not an app state, a page state. So it's just affecting this page. No need to update the entire app. And then we've made these containers toggle on, off, the page state, right? We're changing that, and we're going to update this here. So if we come over, yeah, I'm going to share this tab. So this is a mobile app where I actually did this, or an app that I'm building as a template that I actually did this. So as you can see, we are updating the page state. And this is all one page instead of two. You can do custom tabs or almost anything now, which is really, really cool. A lot of designs, on Dribble have like left align tabs and, things that we don't provide for natively. We're trying to get those things. So, we're still fighting for it. But you can actually do all of these things currently, which is really cool. You could also animate this stuff in, right? Like if you wanted to animate the inputs in, you could actually do that and then just on trigger this, like when on trigger, you could animate those things in. So another thing to just sort of really implement into your application. So yeah, so that's that. Let's see.
Nice.
I'll stop sharing. And oh yeah, this is the fun part. Cool. So one thing that Will and I like doing is we like building in FlutterFlow. And one of the things that is going around recently, I'm going to open this. I'm going to open this tweet, right? We're going to shout out to, all those Framer people. So Framer University sort of posted this button. I'll showcase it. Yeah, view tab. Okay. So I don't know, a really cool little button that animates on hover. And so I asked Will if we could try to build this in FlutterFlow. Neither of us practiced this, so this is going to be 1v1, no practice. And we want to show you guys how you can build a custom button within FlutterFlow, because that's a fun thing, right? Like we have default buttons, no problem. When you're really trying to improve your application and do small things like this to improve the user experience of your application, it takes time and it takes the ability to actually do this, which is possible, right? Some no-code platforms will cut you off, right? It's like, well, you can't really do that. And you sort of have to live with it. The beauty of FlutterFlow is you have complete freedom to do anything. So we're going to try to build this. I will build it in, I'm going to close down some of my tabs here so that I can hopefully perform faster. I'll build it in my new one. Oh, no, I want to do that one. Let's see. Okay.
And any questions you have while we're building and things like that, please ask them in the chat. We're going to go through and do our best to answer as many questions as we can at the end once we're done building. Obviously, we're having a little bit of a competition here, but at the same time, too, I noticed a lot of questions that maybe don't relate to what we're talking about specifically today. So any questions about FlutterFlow, your project, things like that, please, we encourage you to check out documentation, the community, or reach out to the support team if you truly believe it is a bug or issue with FlutterFlow itself. Obviously, we want to make sure you have the best support and are able to achieve what you're hoping to do. So just want to make sure everyone is aware of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
So cool. Can you share your screen as well, Will?
Yeah, I think we can share at the same time.
I think so too. What we'll do is we'll try to put them side by side. I'll see if I can change the views and stuff. And what
you want me to make a new project? Are you good if I just do? Are you good if I just build it in the project I was showing? I'll just make a new page.
Totally.
Cool.
That's all I'm gonna do. So let's see if he.
Let me show my screen here.
We'll see, guys. So as you saw, that was sort of implemented on. Here, I'm gonna do side by side, and I'm gonna choose. Nice. Oh no! Well, I guess this is cool. Let's see if we can do this.
Does it kind of work? Maybe. Sort of.
I mean,
sort of.
No, not that way. This way sort of works. So, although we're separate, it's a little like ping pong style.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah. So the way we're going to build this is utilizing the mouse region widget I don't know if you guys are familiar with the mouse region widget, but it's a very powerful widget, and you can do a lot of really fun things on hover. So we're going to just showcase that. And hopefully this is entertaining for y'all. It's going to be fun for us, and we'll share these buttons with the community when we're done. So
Nice.
we're
Cool.
going to start. Go for it.
All right. Let's see here. And maybe talk through. I'm gonna try to talk through every once in a while some things that I'm maybe doing.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, be pretty quiet.
Yeah. What size do you normally make your button height? You have a typical preference?
So that's a good question. I typically do 44 pixels. I can go up to 52, 54,
Nice.
something like
That's
that.
funny. That's what I switched with as well. I did 44 and then I switched to 50. So it's
Yeah,
funny. I'm
yeah,
glad we're on the same page there.
yeah.
All right. And I'm going by memory here too, because I need to pull up that picture in a second.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I'm
But
also just sort of I'm winging it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna
nice.
do a row. I know there is a text and there's an icon. So I'm gonna do icon.
Nice.
Well, we're gonna have to utilize a stack, I think, or something. We're gonna have to clip mask. There's a lot of stuff we're gonna have to do, but that's the fun thing.
True. All right. Yeah, the clipping masks or clip content is very powerful from a FlutterFlow point of view
Oh
because
yeah,
you can hide so many things. It's like crazy. It's
yep,
crazy. And I guess this also shows how quick you can build as well, right? Because ideally, we're going to be both building relatively quickly. So, yeah, that'll be good to see just how quick you can build in FlutterFlow.
yep. And I'm building out my button first, and then I'm gonna wrap it in a mouse region widget, and then I'm gonna do conditional
Nice.
visibility on certain things with some animations. So I actually want this little 70. Yeah. And we'll do the border color too. Yeah.
It's also funny. There's so many like little hidden icons that I'm not aware of because because of the way material icons are named. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Cool.
Do you have a preference on what left icon are you doing? Do you know?
I'm just doing the plus icon, and then I'm gonna do a launch icon for the right one. So
Nice.
oh, I love that. I love that. So yeah, we have this new ability to sort of select variables from the canvas as well. So if you're watching my screen, I'm trying to hide this icon based off the mouse region hovered state, and I was able just to click on the canvas. So pretty cool. We're gonna do well that one. Yeah, we'll do it as well. We'll click there. We'll apply opposite statement. Cool. Better text than just "Hello World." Come on now. All right, then we're gonna.
That's funny.
Okay, I think.
It's tricky. Does it fade away? Does the icon fade away too? If you
Icon floats to the left, right, and fades away.
yeah.
Really, what you could do is you could. Well, I'm
Yeah,
not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to let you figure it
you're
out.
good. No worries.
Trying to give away my secrets.
I'm asking.
I'm pretty bad.
Asking questions here. That's funny. All right. Let's see here. Apply initial state. We want Nice. Nice. Getting some progress here. It's funny. I feel like all of a sudden you're just going to be like, done. And I'll be like, what? How did you finish so fast? It'd be funny.
We'll see. Here.
Or you're just going to be...
is to,
yeah. What's that?
it's like run fetch mode and then make sure your page is the first one up so you can actually get to it.
That's funny. Hmm. Where is the action trigger? Or, oh, it's animation. Whoops. One, we want...
Blocking.
Oh, I gotta start a test mode. Figure it out here.
Yeah. I may just run test mode. See? All right, copy action, paste action, reverse. Wait, we can reverse, right? Reverse animation. Perfect. Okay.
Can you do?
Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Ah, there's a reverse animation action. Wow. I did not know that. That's crazy.
That's why we build live, because it's hard to learn stuff when you're not building live, right?
I think I'm... Oh, man. What text are you using in your button? Oh, no, I set the wrong screen for the button. Or the start page.
Cool button. I said cool button. I could have said answers button.
Cool button?
And that way, yeah. Because I mean, hello world, like, we're not developers. We're designers, you know? We're like, we're just empowered to develop things now.
Let's see here.
That'll be fun.
I don't think my padding is going to be perfect by any means, but that's okay. If widget state white, otherwise let's do a dark gray.
Sort of totally guessed on the animations that I needed, so I think my first go is going to be pretty terrible. But I'm hoping.
So are we counting? See, that's the okay. It's just tough.
Ooh,
it's weird.
Okay.
Are the really weird? Oh, I need the. Oh, I know what it is. I know what's going on. I'm gonna do a run mode. We have to do a run mode at the end. That's gonna be the issue. Or else, or at least I do. I don't know. Maybe you don't. But
you mean a run mode?
I'll do.
Oh, you know what?
I have to do a run mode at the end. The clipping mask. My clipping mask is saying that I'm oh.
Oh, cool. All right, we're gonna see if mine will actually come up. Ooh, there it is, test mode. Oh.
Okay. I gotta do a run mode, unfortunately. But everything else, I think we're good.
All right. I'm gonna come back and set this to my new home screen. I totally forgot I had authentication set up in this project. Step reload.
Is this icon one? Plus an arrow.
Okay. What we need.
One mouse, enter My arrow needs to fade.
So
on this, the plus needs to start. Arrow needs to, okay. I think we're good here. Maybe. Before animating. Gosh, this is so frustrating because I have to keep doing a run mode in order to see it, because technically it's going to show the errors in the debug, like show that it's overflowing in the debug mode. So it's like you have to be perfect and ready to go when you do run mode.
All right, I'm also going to add some animation here.
I think I'm done. I'm done. I'm just waiting for it to load.
Almost done. Ooh, okay. All right.
I mean, mine just says cool button. I'm sure we can do a lot more with that sort of stuff. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I have my run mode. I'm gonna see, but I'm gonna try to get a little crazy here. So let's try something. I've got this container in that, and the fill color is gonna be this is gonna be the crazy part. Can we oops. Blur. The blur we need like
start animation. Yeah. Okay, we don't want to reverse it. Start it. Cool.
Yeah, mine's still loading. Still waiting for it to load. But then I think we're good. Hopefully. Container. Oh shoot. I mean, now we're getting a little crazy here. 180.
Cool. You have your icons showing up. Oh, okay.
Oh, I have mine animating too slow. Yeah.
That's you're better than mine. Oh, I think you're winning.
I mean, here's what's hard, right? Is you can't animate the border radius. It just appears.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Makes sense. Cool.
Let's see.
I'll do that. Why isn't this
I think this is what it looks like, but to be honest with you, again, I'm going from memory. So
oh, good, dude. I know, right?
Like, uh-oh.
We'll see.
0.
I think Will is winning too. I think he is. To be honest with you. Yours is a lot smoother. How did you do that? All right.
That's the issue. That's the hard part, right? It's like
I think I'm gonna delete these. Okay. I'm gonna try that. Hide before animating. Oh my gosh.
This is kind of funny. We're getting a little crazy here, but
oh, you're getting some fade on there? Okay.
We're getting creative.
I like it.
No. Obviously, it's gonna be pretty pretty big here, but on action trigger animation, we could do fade in 400 before animating. And
oh yeah, we need our cursor. Cursor type. Click.
It'd be cool to do what we did with the local variables and do a action state for every or widget animation and just add a bunch. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so I'm trying to think. This container should fade in, fade out. Right. Let's see. Okay, I think weird. Oh, that's no. The widgets, because of the mouse region, the widgets go in order. So there's something we can, right? It's a little delayed.
Yeah.
Depending on what you do.
Page load.
Or do we need non-blocking? Oh, I need non-blocking all of it, right?
Yeah.
Sneaky. Because I'm like, why is everything delayed? Got it. Okay. Give this a quick little refresh, and I think I wish I need to go back and see what the tweet looks like. That way I can give it a look. But this seems to be a linear.
We have text one, right? Text one.
Anyone that believes in really powerful drop shadows or anything like that, just note that my my build here does not showcase realistic drop shadows. If you are interested in that, unfortunately.
Well, guys, this is why I have Will build as well, because all this fancy stuff he's really good at.
Are you okay? I'm gonna run mine and I'm done. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. That's cool. I have to.
I'll stop for a minute and I'm gonna hide the final result. I'm done. Gonna hide for a final result.
My final result sort of sucks.
I doubt that.
Well, you would be surprised.
Nice. Let's see what we got. This is close to Figma prototyping. Yes, it is. That's a thing. Like coming from a design background and doing this sort of thing is so much fun because you have to think like a prototyping tool in a sense of like building out these buttons, right? I'm not writing any lines of code, but using the tools that FlutterFlow has provided, you can do essentially what Figma prototyping or Framer like components all the same, just in FlutterFlow. Obviously, you're not copying and pasting a bunch of like animation frames or states, but you would do that with your action flows. So nice.
Next one. All right, I'm almost done, dude.
And yeah, it'd be awesome if you put those buttons in the marketplace after that. Yes, I think we could do something like that. That would be fun. Little design build off buttons.
Yeah. You guys would download Will's, I think, a lot more. We'll see if I can get
No, don't say that.
No, seriously, yours is really nice, dude. I sort of got mine to
Thanks.
work, but
I appreciate it.
it's it's not as smooth.
I appreciate it.
All right, this is what I'll do. I'll share my screen. All right, we can share. What we'll do is we'll share our screens, and
Okay.
then we'll show the final. Right. I'll show
Nice.
them. I'll
Almost a story.
turn us off. Go ahead and share your screen, Will.
Okay. Get me to share my screen. Let's do it. All right. Can you see my screen? Can you see the building? Andrew? Can you hear me?
Still there? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, weird. Okay. Weird.
Cool. Well, we'll just do
Sorry
this
about
for
that.
now. This was my final, right? Not as smooth as Will's. It
Nice.
works, but not as
So what'd you
smooth.
do? Did you talk through what you did? Did you animate the text in and animate the button in at the same time, or what?
Yeah, so let's see. So I have this row here. I have this icon, the launch icon, hidden by default, right? It's only showing when the mouse region is hovered. And then on my animation, I have a page load. So on page load, it'll animate in, right? So that works. It's pretty easy. No need for an on action
Nice.
trigger. And for triggering that,
Awesome.
it'll just, when it's hovered, it'll do the page load animation and do that. The
Got it.
problem I had was this little text here. So I have a text and I have an animation on page load and then on action trigger. So on action trigger, when this is hovered, it'll slide, right?
Nice.
It's actually going to slide to the right a little bit, which is what you're seeing. And then on page load, it'll fade and slide in, and it'll basically reverse that.
Nice.
So, and then on this little
Nice.
icon, I have on page load again, it's scaling up and fading in, and that's it. So,
Very
and it's
nice.
all triggered by this little action flow. So, I do have. Ooh, what is this? Text one. Ah, I see. I already had that. I'm gonna delete that actually. I love that you can label this. So you can label your actions in here. So instead of just action 3, I can come in here and say
Label. Yeah.
verse animation.
Nice.
I think this one. These are all in text. Let's see. That's probably why. I can remove that. Now, cool. Cool. Now, is yours ready?
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah. I
sharing.
can share my screen.
Cool.
Okay.
I want to see how the
Here's what I
master did it.
got. I'm having an issue on mine, unfortunately. So this
Barely.
is the button, right?
Okay.
So
Yep.
this is what happens when you hover.
See? Love that.
So the issue I'm having is I have this wrong. I don't have it starting from the initial state. So you'll notice when I hover over it, it fades immediately instead of fading out.
Oh,
See
that's
that?
cool.
It
Okay.
like fades in again.
Dude, I'm gonna be
What?
honest with you. I think you understood the assignment.
Thanks. I
I
think
think,
yeah, we could release this to
yeah, I think
the
that's good.
marketplace.
That's
Thanks.
superb, man. Can we have a round of
I just
applause from my friend Will?
no, it's pretty good. It's interesting because we use different techniques, and that's the cool thing too, right? Um,
Yep.
for like I animated the entire row and I left
Oh,
the row
that's
overflowing.
so smart. Yep.
So in this case, it's just animating the row and
Oh,
revealing the icon that's clipped. And then I'm having them fade in on the action trigger. And then what I did for the blur was I wrapped the button in a blur,
Yep.
and then added a container that was a little bit bigger behind.
Yep.
And then I'm having it fade in linearly when you hover and out. So obviously your
Nice.
button hit radius is a lot larger for that
Yeah.
now, right? Like I could be over here, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit of an issue, but I'm sure you could figure something out.
Yeah. If you tweak
So,
it, you could do that. Yeah.
oh, I guess I have the mouse region over everything. I could just put the mouse region on the button itself, and it would solve that
Correct.
issue.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. Dude, animating the row is so smart. Golly.
Thanks.
I feel like an
Thanks.
idiot now. Yeah, that
No,
was it.
there's so many sneaky things like in the Spotify template. That's exactly what
Yep.
I did. I have a container with the text super long, and I have it
Yep.
the row or the text sliding from either side and just repeating, looping back and forth. Um, so yeah, no, that was fun. That
Yeah.
was good, like to get creative and figure out ways
Dude, that was
we
actually
can build.
amazing. That was really cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We had
Thanks.
fun. I got royally
Yeah.
embarrassed. But yeah, that
No.
was fun, man. Harsh, you're right, dude. You can have, you can do so much stuff on hover on the mouse region. It's a really
Yeah.
powerful widget. We just showed like how you can create custom widgets with this, custom buttons, and you can also create that as a component and then pass in text variable. You could pass in an action state off the container. So there's a
Nice.
lot of stuff you can do. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, could you add this and this and this um, on the button
Yeah.
itself?" And the Flutter button is, I mean, it's there, but you can create custom buttons now, and you could on hover, right? So like on hover, you could change or you could fade in two
Hmm.
containers that would be different colors, so you could have a really nice transition. There's so much you can actually do. So
Nice.
really powerful widget. That's awesome, dude. Why
Thanks.
don't we just answer a few questions? Since we're here and we only have like
Sounds
3 minutes now. So, any other questions, guys?
And one thing I will say is one of the things like obviously FlutterFlow is a tool for developers, but at the end of the day, also consider like Andrew and I are both designers, right? And I didn't write a single line of code and was able to do that in a mobile application, what I built, right? So you can take what all these other similar tools are pitching as like their revolutionary feature, like Framer, right? A lot of people are diving into Framer because it's like, oh my God, you can build components in there. And it's like, wait a minute, you can do the exact same thing in FlutterFlow. Just think about it, get creative, and you can build almost anything. So
Yep, very cool. This one
nice.
is interesting. So you could build a sliding animation on the segmented control, right? You could,
Yeah.
right? I think on so you select container. We have this little implicit animated animation or implicitly animated. I'll share my screen so that I can. Um, so if you select a container, there's this implicit animated animation. So you should be able to basically put a container in a stack, and you could slide that animation left to right, depending
Yeah.
on how to do it. It would require a lot of sort of custom if then else statements. But beyond that, I mean, if you had like 3 segments to a control, you could do a custom sliding animation on that as well, I think. So it
Yeah.
would be nicer if we just provided that natively in tabs. But this is something that I think can be done in a segmented control. So maybe we'll try to build that. Will could share it later on the Twitter. So he's really good at that, sharing
Nice.
what he's built. So
Nice. No, that'd
let's
be
see.
fun. Yeah, maybe we'll try to build some other custom buttons or things like that too, and show how to build those.
Yeah,
That'd be really fun.
let's see. Anything else? So yeah, we can do that. Let's see, design guidelines. So yeah, I mean you can do this, right, Klaus? You can we can come up with some guidelines for you to make stuff look like an iOS app. I mean, it's really not that hard if you want the native look of an iOS app. It's just utilizing their native blue or something, customizing some app bars, and the bottom navigation is pretty much there. Like a bottom nav bar is a bottom nav bar, so you can implement labels, right? That's standard for native iOS apps.
Yeah.
And then even the top, like the other stuff is like toggles possibly. So you can make your toggle buttons adaptive. So if we come over here and do toggle list swap style or like a switch here, so by default it's Android. Come up to platform and just make it adaptive. It'll automatically do iOS. So
Nice.
and it will you can edit this stuff. So this is really cool. I mean, you can have a custom color on the background for your switch. And then this stuff is just for the Android version as well. So if we did that, active track color, you could do this or this. Inactive track color, you can make it like your line color and do that. So there you go.
Nice.
Cool. You have a native switch, same thing. Sort of, I mean, you have less options in iOS, but here you can change that. So you have your inactive track color, which is pretty cool. So yeah, beyond that, and then some, customizing this app bar to be more iOS focused. You can obviously set up your type system to be in line with iOS standards. So 17, 13, I think 19, 22, stuff like that. So you can do it all within this. And we have some new updates coming to theme. We're going to do theme 2.0 or version 2 coming later. I don't know. It will probably come in April because we're working on some AI stuff. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching Will and I sort of challenge each other to a button build off. And we had a lot of fun doing it. So thank you for joining this. If you guys have any specific topics you want us to cover from a design standpoint, right? We're not necessarily developers, but as a design standpoint, how to build complex layouts, how to build responsively in FlutterFlow. I know that's a hot topic. I had somebody mention like how to build list views or dynamic stuff. Will showed some of that, and we could build, we could show how to connect basic logic in FlutterFlow, how to use conditional actions and stuff like that. Thank you guys for joining. And yeah, we just hope you guys have a good rest of your week. So, in the stream.